we're to step 3 and what to do when you're going through financial distress. And I am really simplifying these down to very basic things and things that I have done over the course of me being in debt on two separate occasions in my life. And I say separate occasions, it went on for years, me getting debt free twice, getting out of debt, getting back into debt, and then getting out again and trying to stay debt free. We're not going to go to that far right now. Right now, we're in the I'm in distress. What do I do? So, if you've watched video 1 and 2, you have listed your income and expenses, and you know where you are, what you have a plan, you've made a plan. You should be working that plan, and it may not be going great, it may be bumpy. So you figured out how to spend less, you have figured out how to make more, or one or the other, and it may be going a bit bumpy. So now is a good time to check in. If you don't have a person to check in with, then what you might do, if you can find an accountability person, that's great. If you can't, you can just ask yourself. You can get a piece of paper and a pen, or you could just have a conversation with yourself. What's working, what's not working? And I do suggest writing this down somewhere, because seeing what's working will help you come up with okay, that we're going to affirm, we're going to keep doing that thing. Maybe you've taken on extra work. Maybe you're doing some kind of side gig and you're doing that for 10 hours a week, and that's providing you with an extra $150, and that is helping you reach your goal. So that's working. We want to stick with that. What's not working is maybe you gave yourself a $50 budget for groceries and it's not enough, and you're running out of food and you feel pretty miserable. And so maybe you need to increase your food budget every month, or maybe you're still not having enough money for major expenses. And so even though I'm not a huge fan of Dave Ramsey as a person, the principles that the Ramsey group teaches are very good. You've got to get some money in a savings account for emergencies, because one thing it is true in life is bad things happen all the time to everybody, but they happen more when you don't have the money. They're just an inconvenience if you have the money, but they are an emergency when you don't have the money. So if you get in a minor car accident and you have money to fix your car, then and it won't run, or you have a car problem, it breaks down and you can fix it, that's a minor problem, not an emergency. But if you don't have the money, it becomes an emergency that can snowball out of control. So what's not working? And you just want to write that down, and whatever's not working, now you want to make a plan to deal with that. So let's say that what's not working is you are making extra money, but you had a breakdown with your car, or your washing machine broke and you have to fix it, and or someone's demanding more money and you've got to figure out what to do. So then you're just going to go back to step 2 and make a plan to deal with that. The other thing you have to understand, and this is where I would tell you to start educating yourself, your mindset is so important, is this is a process. It's not easy. It takes a really long time. The last time that I got out of debt, the first time, when I was around 29, we sold our house that I had inherited. I had inherited a mortgage. We sold it. We made a little bit of profit. I paid off our debt with that. But then we immediately bought some land that we paid cash for with that. And we built a house, and we became house poor. And that really became a problem, and we got in a situation where within a few years we were $1,400 a month in the negative. I was buying groceries on credit card. And the solution that ended up happening was a hard one that we didn't want to face, but I had to take a second job. My ex-husband had to work part-time on the weekends. He's a computer person and a IT person, and he had to fix computers on the side. I had to take a second job, and we also, when the kids were in school, and the other thing we had to do is we had to sell our house and go and downsize into something cheaper. And all of that was a process that was not nearly as simple as I just explained it. Some very hard decisions, but all the things I was worried about didn't come true. It wasn't nearly as hard as I thought it would be. And one thing I will tell you is I have never had a debt that I paid off that I regretted paying off. People will sometimes be like, Don't pay your mortgage off because you can invest that money, or don't pay your car off when it's at 1% interest. I disagree with that. Having debt is like a noose around your neck. That's money you have to earn every month to pay that debt. And so getting out of debt is very, very important. So you've got to work on your mindset now. What's working? What isn't working? Write that down. Come up with a solution to what isn't working. And if you're not sure, write down all of your thoughts on what you could do and go with the one that feels the most comfortable, that you feel like you can swallow. Sorry about the lighting in here. And for that, I'm going to leave it at that, and then I'm going to come back with video number 4. All right. Thank you so much.